Hi, it's Paul on the road, and I'm Paul. Well, I'm back at Barrett Jackson for another day, and let's just go in and see what we can find. 1967 Camaro. Now this is one of the easiest Camaros to identify because it has something that was used for only 1 year, and that's the vent window right there. That is only on the 67. The 68 looks just like this, the body does, but it has no vent window. So if you see a Camaro with a vent window, it's a 67. Want to buy a high-end pontoon boat? Come to Barrett Jackson. I know nothing about pontoon boats, but these Benningtons look like they're pretty high-end. There's even a Batmobile replica here. It looks very familiar. An iconic design, if there ever was one, a 1955 Ford Thunderbird. This thing is advertised to be having only 14,322 miles, original miles on it. That's amazing. But this car was designed by Frank Hershey. If you look up George Walker, if you Google George Walker, he was in charge of Ford design at that time, and I think the first or second sentence in his page, his Wikipedia page, where he takes credit for designing this car. And if by designing it he means signing off on it, then yeah, he designed it. But the guy who actually drew it, the artist who drew this, was Franklin Quick Hershey, Frank Hershey. And he did a couple of other designs that design cues that I will point out if I see one. Here's another one of Frank Hershey's designs. One of the things I like about this car, and they did this in 55 and 56, was they brought the body side molding, this bright work right here, and they brought it up and put it on top of the fender. It's the only car that I can remember where they did that. I mean, some cars would have you know, lights up here, marker lights or turn signal lights mounted up here, but they would stop right there. Here's that 56 wagon we looked at the other day, and it went for $41,000. Wow, this is sweet. It's an old Rambler American, 1959 Rambler American, unlike any Rambler American I've ever seen. It's got a 900 horsepower LT1 motor, twin turbo. 1951 Buick Super Woody. One of the neat things about Buicks is the way you started them is you turn the key on and put the gas pedal to the floor, and there was a switch in the carburetor that engaged, and as soon as the engine started, a vacuum would pull the ball away from the and break contact and turn the starter off. So it wouldn't engage again, you know, if you stomped on it and went full throttle going down the highway, it would not re-engage the starter.
Yeah, I hear you.
A 1967 Excalibur. This thing is on a Studebaker chassis. The tell for that is that center light right below it is the center link for the steering. That's something that Studebaker started using in 1951 and continued it all the way into the end of production. And only Studebaker used that. And because that is on the center link, the steering center link, when you turn the steering wheel, that light turns.
Huh?
Some of them are sold.
Yeah. It's turning, right?
Ah, yes.
A 1950 Ford Woody. And here's another little piece of trivia that might help you someday. The 49 and the 50 look very much alike, but it's really easy to identify them. And the 50 had the marker light or turn signal light right here, and in the 49 this spear comes out and it's right here, and the chrome doesn't wrap around the corner like that. They both have the single spinner on them, the single bullet nose. 1946 Studebaker M series pickup. This is an M5, so it's a half ton. It has the 170 cubic inch flathead 6 in it that they used for years. Makes about 80, I think in 46 it was making 80 horsepower. By 51, it started making 85 horsepower. Certainly not a hot rod, but it's way cool. '52 Jaguar 120 Roadster, and I understand the 120 came from the top speed of this thing. It would do 120 miles an hour. And you can even buy a Bell helicopter here if you want. I asked, and this thing is $2.3 million. 1956 VW ragtop oval window. Now, ragtop to a lot of people means convertible, but in Volkswagen speak, ragtop means this. I'm not a Volkswagen guy, but I've heard them talk about them many times, and they always refer to these as ragtops. And that back window, that oval back window, makes it pretty valuable. I would guess it's going to be over $50,000. One of the commenters asked if I had seen a 49 Chrysler Windsor convertible, and I have seen them, but there is a 47 here, and we're looking at it. And thank you, Northern Blues, for asking that question. And check out this one. This 46 or 47? Hang on a second. 47. Just a beautiful car. I mean, imagine driving down the boulevard with the top down, and life wouldn't get any better than that. 1976 Jeep Wagonaire. This car was designed by a fellow by the name of Brooke Stevens, and another claim to fame for him is he designed the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. He also designed one of the early Harley Davidson motorcycles. A very prolific designer. He did some work for Studebaker as well. After Lowy left, or after his contract ran out, Studebaker hired Brooks Stevens, and he did the GT Hawk was his design. Well, here's something I've never seen before. This is a Di Tomaso Duoville. I have seen Di Tomaso Panteras and Di Tomaso Mangustas, but never a Di Tomaso Duoville. And not surprising, they only made 244 of them. But it's a four-door, as you can see, kind of a luxury sedan. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the walk around, and I'll see you next time.